your orders to our Trident boat captain on whether you, Prime Minister Liz Truss, is giving the order to unleash our nuclear weapons. It would mean global annihilation. I won't ask you, would you press the button? You will say yes. But faced with that task, I would feel physically sick. How does that thought make you feel?
I think it's an important duty of the Prime Minister. I'm ready to do that.
Why, as the Dutch government, a guy called Rutte, the Prime Minister, completely owned by the World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab, why has he just announced that the Netherlands, the second biggest exporter of food in the world, is targeting farmers to destroy them and get them off the land, which is where all these farming protests in the Netherlands have come from? At a time of food shortages and supply chain problems, you are targeting the second biggest exporter of food in the bloody world to destroy its farming base? Why are you doing that? If people depend on you for what's left of the food, you control them. Where food is abundant and cheap, you do not control them. Where energy is cheap and abundant, you do not control them. Scarcity equals dependency equals control. And that's why they're targeting the food chain, they're targeting the energy supply, they're targeting everything.
You see, these leaders are lying to you right into your faces. They're pretending that this is all Putin's fault. They're saying that, hey, we didn't see this coming. That's total horseshit. By the way, horseshit is great fertilizer. Former German Chancellor Angela Merkel shut down Germany's nuclear program. In fact, even the Liberal Atlantic magazine called Merkel's decision at the time in December a huge mistake. I had this in my archives. And here's the Atlantic piece by David Frum. The West's nuclear mistake. No government that really regarded climate change as its top energy priority would close nuclear plants before the end of their useful lives. Oh, and Angela Merkel did that. Yeah. Not eins, not zwei, not drei. 17 of them. 3 months before the war in Ukraine, when it was clear that plans were already on the table, already in place. They already had all of these plans drawn up to sanction Russia. They were there. They were already lined up. They knew exactly what to target and what to go after. These weren't things that were then somehow promulgated because of the Ukraine war. That's garbage.
Вы знаете, я иногда думаю, что было бы хорошо для нас, если бы те, кто хочет вводить санкции, ввели бы все санкции, которые только можно ввести, и как можно быстрее. Это развязало бы нам руки для защиты своих национальных интересов такими средствами, которые мы считаем наиболее эффективными для нас. А вообще это очень вредно. Это вредит тем, кто это делает.
As I mentioned earlier, Klaus explicitly stated during that virtual conference that the WEF will leverage its network of global shapers and young global leaders to ensure the Great Reset is implemented in every country. Klaus also specified that there are over 10,000 of these usurpers slowly slipping into various positions of power around the world, and he repeatedly stated that the Great Reset's success depends on this. This makes sense because there's only so much the WEF can achieve from the top down. The pandemic proved this for reasons I won't get into here, but the TLDR is that Klaus and his cult followers saw the pandemic response as a, quote, test of the Great Reset philosophy. Well, This top-down test didn't go nearly as well as the WEF had hoped, which seems to be why the WEF has been leaning so heavily on those global shapers and young global leaders as of late. It's an inorganic, bottom-up approach that pushes the WEF's agenda in major social and economic hubs, and it's no coincidence that most of them seem to have been onboarded during the pandemic. Now, what's awesome is that the global shapers and young global leaders' websites are searchable. The former lets you see which WEF folks are looking to change things in your city, and the latter lets you see which WEF folks are looking to change things in your country or region. If you see that a global shaper or young global leader is running for public office,